Hi everyone. Am I audible to all of you? Can I have a quick sound check in the chat box? Yes or no? Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rama. Yes. So welcome all of you to this session today on exploring Azure AI Services. And my name is Sneha, and I'm community manager at Whizlabs. So for today, for this session, we have an amazing speaker who is Madhan I. Madhan is a certified Microsoft trainer, and he has more than 8 years of experience in the IT sector. He has worked on various technologies, and he specializes in Azure AI and ML services. He is passionate about public speaking and teaching, which is why he has conducted lots of workshops and training sessions in colleges and universities for lots of students. And yeah, so today we are excited to have him for this session, and let's hope for a great session. I hope you all have a great time. And Madan has experience in all the technologies, so and all the cloud platforms. So he has certifications AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. So I really hope you all have a great time. So I request Madan and all our panelists for today to switch on their videos so that we can introduce you to the attendees. Yes, hi Madan. Hi Mayank. So we have Mayank and Sunil also with us. They are from Whizlabs products team, and they will also be answering some questions for you. So all the attendees, you can see there is a footer, and in the footer of your Zoom screen, you can see Q&A as well as chat box. So feel free to put your technical queries. If you have any issues with the sound check, you can always ping in the chat box. If you have any particular topic related queries regarding the content for today, you can drop your questions in Q&A section. Okay, and Mayank, Sunil, and Madan, all of them will be responding to your queries, and we'll make sure that after this webinar, all your queries related to this topic are answered. Okay, so have a great time, guys, and Madan, over to you.
Yep, thank you so much. So, shall I start my screen sharing?
Yes, please.
Yep, thank you. So, hope you guys can able to see my screen. Right? Can anyone please respond?
Yes, Madan.
Yes, Madan.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, and from wherever you're joining. So, my name is Madhan, and I'll be conducting a session for Azure AI Services, and we'll be covering only 2 topics in it, since it's like a vast one. But I'm just going to just touch base a little bit of it, especially for NLP and then conversational AI, which is like a chatbot. So before that, we'll start with like a fundamentals of AI itself, and I'll be telling you like what is AI and what is the responsibility of it and what we need to be do it and how to do it, because AI can be like a dangerous one, and it should be handled in a way which it should not affect any human at any point of time. So basically, what is AI, right? AI is like a creation of softwares that imitates human behaviors and capabilities. Key elements include like making decisions based upon data, past experience, detecting anomalies, interpreting visual inputs, understanding written and spoken languages, engaging in dialogues and conversations. So these are like some of the common things of AI capabilities, what it will be doing it. And the most common artificial intelligence workloads are machine learning, anomaly detection, computer vision, NLP, and conversational AI. So everyone would have come across like a base of ML itself, like what's by machine learning. And you guys would have seen like if I'll tell you like a simple thing, right? When people start trying to do some machine learning activities, what they'll do, they just give a data which is like a raw data, and then they'll try to train the data in a way they want the output to be done, because based upon the raw data only, they are going to predict the future itself, like based upon the anomalies, like how it is done, and they'll predict the future values. So that's how it is done, and that is for machine learning. And the next thing is like an anomaly detection. That is like a capability of automatically to detect errors and unusual activity in the system. Like if you're going to have like an earthquake, right? That can be detected based upon anomaly detections, because they'll be having a data of more than 100 years, and they'll predict the value, like something is going to happen or any kind of anomaly is going to happen. What are the like pre kind of conditions, like before it happens, what are the things that it shows us, like a symptoms kind of a thing, and that can be detected through AI. And the next thing is computer vision. That's basically like a third eye. You guys would have come across in your traffic cameras, right? So if you cross your like if you don't follow the rules and regulations, and if you cross a red light, right, some people used to get some automated challans. So that's based upon like a basic of computation only, because you're not following the rules, and the computer would have captured your vehicle number. Based upon the vehicle number, they would have tracked back your data, and they would have give you the fine and penalty. So that is called as computer vision. Like I'm just saying an example. And the next thing is NLP, which is called as natural language processing. So this is like a normal thing where a capability of computer to interpret written or spoken language and response in a kind manner. So if you're going to some other country, and you are unable to like understand what they're trying to speak to you, and this is like a normal thing. So let me give you an example. Like if you're in a restaurant, right, and you're in a different country, which is like in a French, and you want to give a feedback to it, and they don't know English itself. So what they'll do, if you are like one of 1,000 customers, right, they'll be having an NLP in their backend, and what they'll do, they just process those data, and they'll get it like conversing your English into French, and based upon the keywords what you have written in your comment, they'll predict the customer feedback, whether it's just like a good or bad. So that is called as NLP. And the next thing is last one is conversational AI. Conversational AI is nothing but a chatbot. So you would have come across in every places, like even a chatbot in your using a bank system. If you're using some HDFC bank, you could have come across some automated chatbot. Even when you're raising some issues in and your cell phone networks, right, Airtel, anywhere. Nowadays, everything is like the first line of customer support is a chatbot only. After, if the chatbot is not able to respond to your questions or queries, then only it will go for the human interaction. So that is called as conversational AI. So these are the basic kind of workloads when it comes to ML and AI. So any doubt, guys, till now? If so, you can ask me then and there, so that we can have an interaction kind of a value, and we can move it forward as well. Any queries till now? If not, then I'll move it next. So the next thing is artificial intelligence in Microsoft Azure. So what Microsoft is doing in this kind of technology and platforms. So basically, what Microsoft provides like a scalable and reliable cloud platform for AI, including data storage, compute, and services. So these are three kind of basic name which we can able to differentiate and correlate with Microsoft services. So the first thing is called like Azure Machine Learning, which is like a platform for training and deploying and managing machine learning models. So basically, it's like where what I've told you in the first place, right? They'll be using the raw data, and they'll be training the machines, and they'll be doing it. And the next thing is cognitive services. So in this service only, everything it's like a vast kind of thing. Like starts from form recognizer, NLP, custom vision, everything is come under this cognitive service only. So whatever the AI service that you are going to utilize from Microsoft, they will be considered under cognitive services only. So the next thing is Azure Bot Service. This is nothing but a chatbot, which I've told you earlier, for developing and managing chatbots and those things. So this is how they can like predefine it, and these are the key kind of names and values itself in Microsoft Azure. So next, we are going to follow the responsible AI. So when you're creating an AI, right, it should follow some rules and regulations, basically, because hope you'd have came across a movie which is called as like iRobot, which is called as Will Smith, right, which is like an old movie, even from Rajinikanth movie, Indiran, like Robo. So during that evaluation, those villain used to ask it, right, whether it follows all the rules and regulations of a robotic machine. So that's how it should be done. Likewise, even when you're creating an artificial intelligence, it should follow some human kind of things and challenges. So these are some of the challenges that it should come across, and these are some of the examples as well. So this is like a powerful tool, right? And we are using to greatly benefit from it. However, we should able to use it in a responsible manner. So the challenges are like bias can affect results. So when you are applying for a loan, right, and it should not consider your gender or your ethnicity or your color. Based upon your credit-based values, it should give it up. So if the system is designed in a way that it can reject any people or any person based upon their ethnicity or color, or the whatever it caste or whatever it is, then that system is not trained in a very good manner. So that is called as the first one. That's a challenge and risk that needs to be taken care when you're creating an AI machine. And the next thing is error can harm. So as you know, Tesla, right? Tesla is using an autonomous vehicle only. So the Tesla company would have taken all the roads and videos and maps like a Google map. You would have come across some pictures in your Google, right? So what they'll do, Google, they'll have a car and they'll have a camera at the top and they'll cover all the streets and lanes like a Google map, right? Like that, Tesla would have stored all those data so that they can able to train those vehicles exactly so that it will not affect any kind of person at any manner. Even when you could have seen in your some videos in YouTube as well, where Tesla camera, right, it can be able to predict and see all the images in front of it. It will be able to predict the value. Is it like a moving object? Is it like a stable one? Or is it going to cross? Is it going to from right to left or left to right? Is it coming in a straight forward to us? So that's how they have created those vehicles. So that is called as the error can harm. And the next one is data could be exposed to. So nowadays, all the hospitalization, right? They are using some automated things to store the data, like in a bot as well, to do some procedures in hospital, right? Even a human can't able to handle it properly because of the tension. They would have slightly cut some inside internal organs, which will affect a human being life itself. So for that, they are nowadays using a bot service. So even that bot should be having the data of the patient. So that should not be exposed or that should not be hacked at any point of time. So that should be also taken care. And the next thing is solution may not work for everyone. So whenever we start some work, right, we can't be able to expect whether it will be working 100% for sure. So it's always like a error and learn itself. So we have to be calm and patient, and we have to do it in our way. So that's called as a thing, because even when it comes to from eyesight problem people or some visual impaired, right? The AI should not exclude those people as well. It should include everyone together. So that's how it works. So it should be taken care into these things as well. And the second one, last is user must trust a complex system. So nowadays you would have come across many stock market applications like Binomo, everything. What they are going to do, they are trying to make you understand as easily as possible with that prediction values, like this will go high at this point of time, this will go low at this point of time, you should invest at this stage. So you are going to depend on a AI system to invest your money. So that should not let you down at any point of time, right? So that's how the mission should be built up. They should be built up with more than like 100 years of data, so that people's money will not go in vain. That's another thing. And the last thing is who is liable. So when a person is creating some kind of AI, right, and innocent people should not be affected. As it's mentioned the last point, when you're going for some computer vision, right? If a person is wearing like a thief is going on and he is wearing a black jacket and black helmet and a black vehicle, and if the mission thinks like another person is the criminal, and if the mission tells superior people like data, this person is going in this way, but the original culprit would have been going in another way, then that's a wrong thing, right? So the AI should be built in a way that it should not harm any people at any point of time. So these are some of the challenges and risks while creating an AI solutions. So any questions? I think I got two questions. Does AI is fully based on programming language or any other dependencies? So basically, it's based upon all the algorithms, based upon how you're going to create a machine value, like a machine learning. When it comes to machine learning, you'll be using many types of algorithm, and you'll be choosing a solution where your prediction value is nearer to above 90% or 80%. So that's how you're going to build it. And not only based upon all the, it does consist of mathematics, calculus, statistics, whatever it is, it is included in machine learning as well, because you are going to predict a future value based upon the value which you are having more than for 100 years. So it will be a little bit complex when you're starting like as a machine learning engineer trainee. But once you get into the field, right, you will be like excited to learn a lot. That's I'm pretty sure about it. Sorry. So these are the main principles when it comes to AI solutions. So as I told you, right, the first thing is fairness. AI system should treat all people fairly. For example, suppose as I told you earlier, suppose you are creating a machine learning model to support a loan approval application for a bank, and the model should make predictions of whether or not the loan should be approved without incorporating or any bias on gender, ethnicity, or other factors, and unfair advantage or disadvantage to any group or applicants. So that is called as fairness. The second one is reliability and safety. AI system should perform reliably and safely. For example, consider an AI-based software system for an autonomous vehicle, right? Which I've told you, and the model, those are things. And another thing is like a machine learning model, which is used to diagnose patient symptoms and recommends a prescription. So when creating some nowadays, you could have come across some machine learning model where they are trying to predict the skin cancer based upon the images of patients and all the data. So the model should be built in a way that it should not think and let the people know that it is like a cancer, so that the model should be trained in a way that no person should be predicted in a wrong manner. So that is what is reliability and safety. And the next thing is privacy. As I told you, AI system should be very secure and respect and privacy, and it should not cross your limit. Basically, like that limit. The machine learning models on which AI system is based rely on large volume of data, which may contain personal details and that must be kept secret. That's like a private thing, and that's why, like example, if you're having some Berkshire Hathaway, right, they can't able to reveal their 100 years of data, like where they have invested their money and how it works. So they should have their own privacy, right? But they are also using their ML models to predict those values so that they can invest in the near future. And the next thing is inclusiveness. So as I told you, it should engage everyone at every point of time, like not based upon any bias based upon physical ability, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, or any other factor. And the next thing is transparency. So whenever you are creating a machine, right, like an AI machine, and it should be made in a way that should be understandable, and the user should make fully aware the purpose of the system and how it works, and what limitations may be expected. Because if you're not explaining everything to the customer, right, and they're trying to implement the machine into another data, and if it goes in a sideways, then you will be liable, and you have to pay a hefty amount of fine as well. That is called for this last one, accountability. So whenever people should be accountable for AI system, right, designers and developers of AI system should work within a framework of governance and organizational principles that ensures solutions meet all the ethical and legal standards. So you should not cross your limit at any point of time, like example, like when you're using some machine learning, right? And if you're giving an access to your camera just for a learning purpose, and if the developer or programmer are trying to use this as an opportunity to record your videos and pictures, so that's like a wrong thing. So that should be taken. That is called accountability and another thing as well. And this is a link where you can able to see like a short form of videos, and you can able to understand like what are each and everything what I've told you earlier. You can play all these videos and links, and you can get to know. Okay. So these links will be shared in the chat window after some time, where you can able to go and look as well. So the next thing is now we are going to start with our topic. So do you guys have any doubt till now? You can ask me now itself. Like your doubts on basic of NLP, any doubt till now? if so, we can move ahead with our next topic of NLP itself. Because without understanding the basis of AI, right? If I'm going to explain you what's my NLP, you won't be able to understand itself. So that's why I'm just taking in like a normal, common human understanding itself.
Madhan, there is one question in the Q&A section. Can you check that, please?
Okay. Yeah, for this one, I've just told you the answer, right? It's not based upon all the programming languages. It also having some dependency as well. Like without giving your data, right? Like your the more and more data you are going to feed the system, the mission result will be like a proper one. If you're giving, okay, let me tell you an example. Okay, you're trying to train a model, like to predict a object. Like example, a Tesla car. Like there are like S, Y, N, like whatever the model name, I don't remember it. So if you're not going to give more pictures of different model of Tesla cars in different angles, like from front, back, side, top, and if you're not going to give the data as much as possible, then the result will not be as much as precise. So the more and more data that you feed into the system, then the data's output will be good. And not all things require a programming language kind of a knowledge, because some of the AI services are already pre-built, and all you need to do is like just enable the service, and you input your raw data and then process it. So for some people, programming languages are not needed necessarily to learn some AI or ML activities, because you would have come across with a thing called auto ML, right? So Azure, every like cloud service provider is having a like auto ML option, where they have created all the algorithms, everything embedded into that auto ML itself. So only thing you have to do is like you have to just feed your data, and then just select all the types of algorithm that you want to run and test your data. Once after run it, right, that after the iteration itself, the machine will be letting you know like this algorithm is having a higher precision score. So based upon that, then you can choose it up. So there is no need to, but you should understand the basics of ML. Without understanding it, if you're using it, then you won't be able to explain what you have did in the thing itself. So that's the main takeaway. So now we'll move to NLP. So NLP is the area where AI deals with creating of softwares that understand written and spoken languages. So it can analyze text documents to extract key phrases and recognize entities such as places, dates, or people. And it can also perform sentiment analysis to determine how positive or negative the language used in the document. And it can also interpret spoken language and synthesize speech responses, automatically translate spoken or written phrases between languages as well. And the last thing is like it can interpret commands and determine appropriate action as well. So this is called as NLP basic things. And these are the key features, like they have divided into cognitive services for NLP in Azure AI. So basically like it's like a text analytics. So what it can be done. We can use a service to analyze text documents and extract key phrases and direct entities such as places, dates, people, and it can even evaluate sentiment as well. Like if you are telling something like a review, right, to a hotel, which I've told you earlier, like this food is good, and that's like a positive sentence. So it can able to give you the document like this comment was a positive one. And if you're telling that the salad which was given in the hotel was not good, then that not good is like a negative word. So we can able to interpret what the customers are giving us a feedback, and we can get it done as well. So that is called as text analytics. And the next thing is speech. So we can use this service to recognize and synthesize speech and to translate spoken language capabilities as well. Like as I told you, like if someone is speaking in a different language and you have an audio and you want to change it into your own understanding language, you can use these options and you can get it understand as well. That is called speech, and these are like different kinds of APIs, text to speech APIs, speech to text, and speech translations. So these are like kind of services available in Azure. And the next thing is translated text. So using this service, right, we can able to translate text between more than 60 languages. So Azure is having a pre-built data of more than value for 60 languages, and which I will show you in like creating a demo itself. So at that time, you can able to see what are the different languages Azure supports as well. And the last thing, it's like a language understanding for conversational AI, where it can able to train and learn chatbot kind of search as well. So let me show you an example for text analytics. Okay, so here it is, right? So this is like a demo kind of portal where you can able to type any kind of word, and you can see how the text analytics works. So let me type some question word. As you can see it, right? If I type today was a good day, it can able to see the predict the sentence what I'm trying to explain, and it can able to show the entity as well. Entity is a keyword, which is like based upon the whole sentence, which keyword is important to predict the value. That is taken as a like as it shows in like a blue color, right? As you can see it out, if I click this option, right, it shows the sentiment and everything as well. This good day is the one which shows is it like a good or negative manner. And it has the Microsoft has enhanced this thing where you could have come across Microsoft Bing, right? That's like a web search, right? And if you integrate properly in your artificial intelligence services, and if you do some data research, right, you can able to just extract those keywords, and you can able to search in in internet as well. If I click it in Bing entity search, as you can see, based upon this value, right, it shows like a TV program show based upon the words itself. This was a was not considered as a keyword. Today and good day was considered as a keyword. So we'll try with a different thing as well. So I'm just giving you a negative kind of feedback. As you can see, able to see it, right? These are the keywords the system must took it. Food at this restaurant was bad. As you can see, this bad and this restaurant, it shows like a negative kind of value, where it shows the percentage of value only as 5. It shows as -1. So that's how it can able to predict all the reviews. Like if you're going for a movie, right? Let me tell you an example. If you're going for an RR movie which came recently, and the PWare company is asking to give a review for all the from all the people, those who have seen the movie, and based upon that, right, they can able to give the rating as well. Like if you're going for if you're going for some IMDb, right, how the ratings are given, and if you're going to see that heart and symbol in the PWare app, right, those number of heartens are given based upon the reviews and the likes. It's like how the people are commenting for the movie, and based upon that only those ratings are generated. These are not generated from a human intention. These are generated automatically based upon the people's feed in value. So I'm just giving you like a normal example for it. So that's how it works. And the next thing is called as Lewis, which I will show you that as well. For this thing, right? This is called as language understanding, and this is one of an example, which is like a pre-built model where you can able to see like okay, let me tell you I'll just tell you in the audio itself. We can able to type, or we can able to even tell the system as well. So I'm just typing as switch off the light. See, switch off the light, right? So now I'm just going to tell in an oral manner, switch on the light. See, now it also able to understand. So the more and more, what I'm trying to tell you is like the more and more value or the data that you're going to feed into the system, based upon that only, this Lewis also works. So if I'm telling like, I'm just going to tell this word itself. I'm watching a movie. See, it darkens only that place because that's a place where I'm going to watch the movie, and it gives like that cinematic kind of darkness. So like that, nowadays every automated things are there. Like for Alexa, if you want to play something, right, you will be telling Alexa play this song. So like this, how it works. all the things are called as Lewis only. So the Lewis is created based upon the people's voice command and as well as text command as well. Okay. So what are the steps involved in NLP pipelines? So Pradeep, that's like a vast topic. I'm just going to touch like basic thing of NLP only. I'm not going to explain fully of NLP pipelines and all, because if I'm going to NLP too depth, right, then we won't be able to cover the whole topic which we have planned it earlier. So I'm just going to show NLP in a normal console manner itself, like how to create a Lewis kind of thing, understanding services. I'm not going to create a whole NLP service and showing as a demo, because there are like many options to create, like text analysis, speech analysis, and if I'm going to create all the demos, then that the time won't be enough. So that's the main problem and concern we have right now. So the next thing is text analytics, right? As I said earlier, so text analytics is a part of Azure Cognitive Services, and that can perform advanced natural language processing over raw text. And to use text analytics services in application, we have Azure subscription. We should have it like to use those services. And there are like two services. One is called as a text analytics resource. Another one is cognitive service resource. So based upon any of these, you can choose and you can get it done as well. And as you can see, I've told you the keywords, right? Based upon these things only, it can able to predict the value. So which was like a demo purpose, which I've showed you earlier. And this is also a demo, like an example, which I will tell you, like for understanding how it works, the predominant language thing and all. So when you're using some language detection capabilities, right, of text analytics services to identify the language in which the text is written, you can submit multiple documents at a time. And for analysis, for each document it is submitted, the service will detect whether the language of which a language name, is it an English or a French or Spanish, whatever it is. And these languages are derived under a code called as ISO 6391 language code. So for English, it is considered as EN, and for Spanish, it is considered as ES. So based upon these words, we can able to understand it. For example, a scenario which I've told you, like from the starting itself, like on a restaurant, right? You can see there are 3 reviews here, like a fantastic place for lunch. The soup was delicious, and this is totally full of French. Even I don't know what it is. And the third line, it's like a French as well as a mix of English as well. So based upon some of the keywords, right, the system will start understanding which kind of review is this. Is this like a English one or a Spanish one? Because as you can see it, right, in the review one, this language, like this line is considered as an English one, and this is the score. And let me tell you the score thing. There are like scores of 0 and 1. 1 is a positive one, 0 it's like a negative one kind of a thing. And the predominant thing in, right, as you can see, even this is like a full of Spanish. This word terrific and bon appetit was considered as an English, and the system is showing a score of local of 0.9. So either score should be 0 or 1. Since it shows like 0.1, it's like a different kind of thing only, like a language variation, because even the system can't able to give you 100% sure like this whole sentence is an English one. That's the one of the thing. And when it comes to sentiment analysis, right? So as I said, the ranges are start from 0 to 1, and the 0.5, it's like a neutral thing. As you can see, read this sentence. We had a dinner at this restaurant last night, and the first thing I noted was how the courtesy of staff was, and we have greeted in a friendly manner and taken to our table right away. And the table was clean, chair was comfortable, and food was amazing. So this sentence will be considered as a 1, which is like a positive thing. And the last line, it was like a negative one, where it can shows like I have the worst service I have ever had, and the service was slow. I never eat any establishment, I'll never eat at this establishment again. So this shows as like a 0, so which is like a negative one. So based upon some of the keywords in it, the machine can able to predict whether the customers have given what kind of sentiment evaluation can be done. Is it in a negative or in a positive? So those are called a sentiment kind of a thing. And if it's like in a neutral thing, then the number will be like 0.5. And this thing is like the key face in extraction and the entity recognition. So as I said earlier, in this whole sentence, right, these things are taken as a keywords like attentive service, great food, birthday celebration, fantastic experience. So these words are the keywords among this whole sentence, and based upon this only, they'll try to figure it out whether how the value it is, because the system can't able to read the whole sentence and it can't able to predict how you are going to respond. It will try to predict all the predefined values. So basically, these kinds of words are predefined in the system, like in Azure, and based upon that, it will be able to give you whether it's like in a positive or a negative manner, and it can able to interpret based upon your entity as well. Entity is nothing but the place or a location where it mentions. As you can see, I ate at the restaurant in Seattle last week. So the entity is like Seattle. That's like a place name, a location. And the next thing is like a last week. That's like a date and time. So based upon that, we can able to interpret those things into like subtypes. So subtypes are nothing but we'll be defining those kinds of words into different categories. Based upon that, we can able to figure it out. So these are like the main things which you need to understand when it comes to NLP as well. So any doubt till now? Or if I'm going really fast? So as Pradeep, the pipelines, right? If I'm trying to explain pipeline, then that will be like a different thing. That's what I was trying to tell you, because I'm just touching the base of NLP itself, because I wanted to cover only like basic of NLP and chatbot, so that if I get another opportunity to talk, right, then I'll be able to explain, like take one particular topic, especially one and only NLP and their pipelines. Then I can able to walk you through those things as well. Because when it comes to those things, then we have to talk about that Apache Sparks and all, and those services that needs to be taken care. So that's why. And the next thing is like when it comes to NLP model, the thing is called as speech recognition and synthesis. So basically, right, there are like two options. One is called as speech to text, and next thing is text to speech, right, which I've told you. So these systems and these models, like these services, can able to have the capability to transcribe. Like if you are talking a different language, they can able to interpret that audio as a text in your own language as you're understanding. So these services are available in Azure, and we can able to use it in a vast amount, like not only for a single kind of purpose. Like if I'm having a multiple chain of restaurants, let me name it as I don't know a different name. Let me name it as like a Taj restaurant, and they are like in a global level, and they are having a customer feedback system. So some people are giving those feedbacks in audio manner, and some people are giving feedbacks in a text manner itself in different languages from across different uh, like regions and locations. And our people are working in those kind of service are only knows only English. So what they'll do, they'll use this kind of services, and they'll try to translate those audios or those texts into English. And after that, they'll try to predict the customer feedback values, like is it in a positive manner or negative manner, based upon that, because all the hotels are used to get a review based upon on a yearly basis, like the customer reviews as well. So these things are used in a global wide, like a wide. That's why these services aren't familiar by many people, basically, because these are like used like in a major scale industry as well. So this is like a translate text, where nowadays we can able to see it in our phone itself. Like when you're telling bonjour, right? Like we can tell hello, those kind of things. And next thing is called as hola. So these are like different words you could have come across. Like you would have come across French and Spanish, right? If you're watching some Money Heist, those kind of series. So these words will be there. So if you want to translate those things and you can able to understand, then in a vast manner, then they have been using these kind of things. Like if the Netflix Money Heist was taken in Spanish, and they want to translate it into all the global languages in Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, whatever it is, they'll be using these kinds of services, and they'll just translate it easily, because they will not be sitting back and they'll be trying to do with all the things, right, when it especially comes to subtitles. So they'll just run this service, and they'll just get it done, because they can't able to just sit and simply and write subtitle SRT file for each and everything, like typing one by one. So that's like a time consumption, right? For these kinds of things, they'll be using these services. I'm just giving you a simple common man example to understand. So this is the Lewis which I've shown you as a demo itself in the early thing. So these are three main words: utterance, entity, and intent. So utterance is a word. Like for example, as in the slide itself, which I will show you, like switch the fan on. That's a word. And entity is like the key value in that sentence, like the fan, the property, right? The object. And the next thing is intent, what you're trying to achieve. Like I want to turn on. So these things are differentiated into three things, like utterance, entity, and intent. Based upon that only, those Lewis works. So hope you understand what is my utterance, entity, and intent. Without these things, right, you can't be able to create your Lewis services, which I'm going to show you right now. And these are some of the common words in the Lewis programs. Like for a greeting, you can just tell us hello, hi, hey, good morning. And to turn on, turn off, these are the things. And these are the entity values. And turn off these things to check whether what are things and how it takes the entity as well, like the location. And for some of the things, right, even we can't able to define it into a word. Like if someone asks for what is my life, as in the last line, right, we can't able to take it under some kind of category because it can't be defined in any manner, right? So that's the main thing. So let me show you a demo. After that, Mayank will be having like explaining about Whizlabs. So first, you should have an Azure subscription, and if you don't have it, you can always create your own account, and Azure will be providing you free of services. With that, you can able to use these kinds of thing, and you can learn it for free as well. So let me show you like how to create it. First, we have to go to your home page, and then you can just go for create resource, and then you can type for Lewis. As you can see, this is the Lewis program, like a service. What I have to just do it like we have to create a resource. So hope you guys know what is my resource, right? If not, do let me know as well, which I will tell you. Otherwise, we can move it. So this is like a thing where all your work and the entities and your details will be stored under this group. So in an organization manner, right? Everyone will be coming under a resource group, like a testing team, a developing team, and under these teams, right, they'll be having a different set of accessibility and resources. So like that, they'll be able to pre-define it so that they can able to see how much the building is going to cost. And when you're creating Lewis, right, we can able to do two things, whether authoring or prediction. If you want to just do some predictions, you can do it. Or if you want to create your own language understanding, or you can do it in both by itself. For that, you can just click, select both, and we can just create a name itself. And this name should be unique as well. Otherwise, it will not work. And you could have come across a different thing like a region. So, okay, this thing is available. So when it comes to these kind of services, right, these kind of services are not available across all over the global regions. These are like specific kind of service, which is enhanced, and they are online only in some kind of particular region. And you can able to use those region services as well. Like as you can see, this Loo is available only in 5 regions. One is in Australia, Central US, Northern Europe, and then West Europe, and then West US. So these are not in Asia itself. So if you want to utilize these services, then you have to use any of these available regions only. And when it comes to Lewis, as you can see, this is like a free one only, where you can also create your own service and you can learn and understand as well. So since I'm out of free option, it comes for standard. But for the first time users, right, you'll be having an option called free. So based upon that, you can create your own free resource, and you can like give a try for Lewis itself. See, if you're not giving your value properly, this validation will not get passed itself. So once it get passed, then you can give an option for like create. So it will take some couple of minutes, I think so. Any doubt, guys, still now? So meanwhile, right, I'll just show you an example itself. Like when it comes to NLP, right? One of the main things that needs to be taken care. Yes. In French, right? This was a word which is called as entendre l'amour. L'amour is called as light. So this word is like turn off the light. But the same thing in French can be told in another way itself. Like another word is called as fermer le limor. It is called as turn off the light as well. But this word called fermer, right? The first one, when it comes to translation in English, right? It translates as close. So we can't tell someone to in English, close the light, right? That is not an appropriate word. The only thing to tell about the light is like turn on or turn off. We can't tell like close the light. So that is never, it's like a proper English, right? So while translating these things as well, in the early days, people used to get some issues as well, because while translating these things in a direct manner, the whole like a sentence and situation of this whole thing will get confused and changes. So to come across these things only, the entity, utterance, and those values are there, so that it can able to correlate and understand what they are trying to tell. Okay, so this was one of the things which you need to understand. That's why I've just told you like a main thing. So now the service got created, and now you can go into your this link itself. This is called as Lewis.ai applications, and in that you have to log in into your Azure account. Once you log in, right, you can able to see your service subscription details here itself. As you can see, you'll be having these options to select area itself, like which kind of subscription you have, and which kind of authoring resources you are going to use. Or if you don't have it, you can create your own authoring resource as well. Like you can just give a resource name. Okay. So for that only, we have already created this thing, which is yet to get reflected in this area in Lewis. Put sign out. System test. So now it came. As you can see, the thing we here, what we created here, it is there. Lewis, which was created right now, right? So you can select your own resource group which was created. It will take some couple of minutes only. After that, it will reflect in this URL link, and in that you can select your resource, and you can just start creating your own app. Like if you want to create your own different types of Lewis, right? To understand your own questions and answers, you can create those things as well. So we can just give a name. And which language we are going to use. As you can see, as I've told you earlier, right? These are all the languages. It's available in a pre-built condition where it shows like Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, everything is there. But those are in like preview stage. So they are yet to get fully functionalized. So once it is functionalized, then we can able to use these things as well for our own use itself. This is the one which we have created right now, and we are going to create the app. So what we are going to do is like a home automation only. So for that, what we'll be doing is like we'll be creating those intents first of all. So and the entity as well. First, you need to create the entity. Like you have to give a name for it, like device. And then I'm just going to give it a normal understanding for that. I'm just going to choose list and then create. So once this thing got created, right, it shows like a normalized value, right? So in this item where we can able to type those keywords which you want to do it, like you can type it as a light. As you can see, it got added as a sub list, and we can add it as a fan. And now I'm going to give the synonym for this word, like AC for fan and light as a light itself. So once these values got added, right, or we can able to give as a lamp as well. So as you can see, these values got added as a synonym as well. So once this thing is done, now we'll be going for creating the entity, like what kind of intent, sorry, what we are going to do, what we are going to achieve with these keywords of the entity. So for that, what we are going to do is like we're just going to use as switch on. That's the purpose what we are going to achieve. So once it got created, right, I'm just going to type it as like the turn the light on. So after adding that, as you can see it, right, these things. Now this thing got automatically like detected, and it got automatically got selected as device itself. But what we are going to do is like we have to going to specify it. So what I'm going to do is like I'm just collecting the light, and in this value I'm just going to select as fan. So this is for, as you can see, the prediction got loaded, and these values are -1 and 0 difference. So now we're going to create another intent as well. Sure. So after adding it, right, I'm just going to give that intent properly. So once this is given, all we have to do is like we can just start training these models. So this is the option where you have to select like training. So once it got trained, we can test our values, and this is I'm just going to give it a small demo. So if I want this model to work properly, like giving an at least 80% of score, right, then I have to give at least 50 kinds of words like sentence and lines and answers, so that the model can able to learn properly and it can able to respond and give a solution correctly. So now I'm just for a demo purpose, I'm just giving like a few words. So for that, I'm just going to train it, and it will take some time as well. Like okay, now it's got done. So now we can able to test as well. So I'm just going to type the word. See, as you can see, based upon the words which I've given, we can able to inspect these things as well, like how it got predicted. As you can see, this entity and the device is called light, and there is no sentiment involved in these words. So it's like a normal word. There is no kind of a positive or negative way. So that's why I haven't enabled the sentiment as well. So if I'm going to give you another values, like you can see the values as well. So based upon these words of off, fan, they can able to give you the scoring of 0.73, but the score should be higher than 0.8 basically, so that your model is a proper one. That's the main thing that needed to be taken care. So once after this kind of testing, right, what you can do, you can just publish your data where there are like two options. One is called as staging. Staging is basically for like your testing purpose until or unless you get satisfied. You can just keep it as a staging slot. So once you get satisfied, right, then you can go for a production slot and you can just publish it, and you can give it as a URL link, like an endpoint URL. As you can see, this is called as an endpoint URL, this one, and you can use these values and to our program, and we can run it and see it, like how would the Lewis works. So this is all about Lewis, and Mayank, you can take now. Thank you.
Thanks, Madhan. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying the wonderful contents by Madhan. So, good evening. My name is Mayank Vaishnav. I am working as Senior Cloud Analyst at Whizlabs. So, I will present you our Whizlabs platform and a wonderful feature, the hands-on labs. Few of them, like many of them, are using our Whizlabs products and practice tests or the video courses. You might have seen the hands-on lab feature. Let me show you. So this is our website. You can use whizlabs.com, and there is a wonderful sale is also going on. It's regarding the premium subscription, like 40% off. And let me show you the products. So see, we are providing mainly the video courses and practice tests for multiple certifications. Like these are for the clouds, AWS, Azure, GCP, all certifications we are providing with their courses and practice tests. And additionally, we are providing CompTIA. There are 4 to 5 certification regarding that. Then cybersecurity, CCSP, CISP, all those things. And DevOps, a special category of DevOps also, like OpenShift is there, Kubernetes is there, Jenkins, all these certifications. So let me show you solutions architect from AWS. This is the landing page. Okay, so these 3 things, select the courses. I have logged in. Okay, so these are already with me. I have purchased them. And if you are the first time users, you will see the prices for both of them, practice test and online courses, and the hands-on lab is free. Like if you purchase either of, suppose, practice test or the online courses, you will get hands-on labs for free. So this is the one of the product page, one of the products. Let me show you the hands-on this thing. Yes, these are our labs. Created a separate portal for this. Previously, like some of you might be aware of this play.whizlabs.com. This screen, many of you might be aware about this. So this is our new screen, new window, labs 3.0, which contain all the labs based on separate categories based on certifications or the cloud, all those things, levels, easy, fundamental, advanced, like that. Let me show you one of the category, Azure. These are the labs on multiple topics. So create a virtual machine, install, and all those things. So what we are providing special in this is a hands-on lab feature. So if you want to practice, so you will purchase or use the free version of Azure or AWS or GCP for practicing, and they will charge you based on the service uses. like resources usage. But what we are providing, you don't have to pay anything. Like you don't have to share any credit card information with the vendors like AWS or Azure, and you don't have to do much configurations regarding the environment. We will that all things will be taken care by Whizlabs. All the charges and all that will be taken care by Whizlab. You don't have to worry about them. Let me suppose I'm starting this. Create a virtual machine, one of the Azure labs. So these instructions, the lab details, small note regarding the uh, task which you will be performing inside the virtual platform. Let me start this. This thing. You might be aware that whenever you are using Azure services or AWS, for reaching to the console, you need username, password, and resource group, all those things. So all things is automatically provided here. You just have to open the console for starting the virtual environment. Before that, here are the steps, like what you have to perform after reaching on this page. It's given from the starting, that start the lab, open the console. Then this lab is regarding create a virtual machine. So every step is given, like go to the virtual machines menu, click on this option, and use this resource name, all those things. Every instructions are provided. You just have to follow and practice. Let me show you. All this you can cancel it, recommendations. The things which were provided here as credentials are all appeared here, and we have logged in with our credentials. Okay, so these are all the things which you can work, which you can practice, and you don't have to pay anything. I know that few of the services are free on Azure as well as on AWS, but there is a limit, like this much of storage you can use, this much of routes you can add, like those things. So these things you can use at free of cost here by following the instructions till end. What you will be doing, whether you have created your virtual machine or not, whether you have left, you are left in between, it will check all those things. It will guide you till the end. And if you want, you can close this window also in between. Okay, you don't have to worry about the resources, whether they will be left created and they will be running. Once you will end the lab, all the resources will be deleted, because we have created this as such, like we have given some permission, I am roles and permission, that you can perform only these tasks which are provided here, not other than that, because we have other labs also for multiple topics. So there is a permission, access and all which you can use. So let me sign out, or I can close it from here, end lab. Okay, this was regarding our labs. These are the navigation things. Like first, I have shown you the second option from whizlabs.com/labs. This is the first option from where you can go to the labs. And the other option is, suppose this is one of the product, associate exam, AWS. You can go from here also. hands-on lab access now. And then for particular certification, we have a separate bunch of labs. Like this certification is an associate level. So there are 70 labs. These are all the labs. This thing. If you will check for professional one, then you will get other labs. Suppose I am clicking on solution architect professional. You can check after this webinar. Few of the labs are available for free. Here there are 2 labs which are free. You can check them, practice them, and check what the things we have provided. Here this is for architect professional. So here we have 74 labs, and that is also different. Like some people might think that associate labs can be included in professional, but they are different. So from here also you can start the lab, and one option was from here starting the lab. These are things which we have covered just now. These are the second option, starting the lab. Then I have shown you the lab details feature. Then the task, the brief task regarding the services which you will use in the lab section. One option is also there, which is right now not available in Azure, but it's available in AWS, like the validation feature. Like after completing all of your labs, all of the tasks and steps, you can click on the validation and it will show you whether you have failed or passed. Like this is just an example. I haven't created anything, so the overall status is failed. Then separately, the EC2 instance, AMIs we have created or not. So every step it's written failed means I haven't created anything. Currently, we have 202 AWS related labs, and Microsoft Azure it is 52. It is still increasing. GCP 69 labs. Yes. So hope you might want to see these Whizlabs platform and go through them. Thank you. Over to you, Madhan.
Yep, thank you. So
Yeah.
I'll stop.
You can share your slide again.
Yeah, thank you so much. So once again we are back, and this will be like a quick one. This will not take a long time as well. So the next thing is conversational AI. So you guys could have come across many things in nowadays, right? It is called basically for a voice message, online messages, services, online chat, email. So all these things nowadays are getting automated, basically to because of the less human interference. And basically the conversational AI, right? Well, many organizations publish support information and answers to FAQs, but still they can be accessed through the web browsers and or dedicated app. But the people are not very much easy with those activities, because going through some links and gaming to understand, that takes a lot of time. But if there's a chat support, right, they can easily just click it out and they can start doing it. So that's how this chat got very much increased nowadays. And basically what we are going to see, like a normal chat, like how we are going to automate the chat itself. And before this chatbot, right, we should also having some kind of a responsibility that needs to be taken care. And the main things are like it should be transparent, like what the bot can do and what the bot cannot be doing it. Because some questions, if you're asking like a very critical manner, so how was your day and where you're situated, those bots are just only an automated services. They don't have livelihoods, right? So if you ask those kinds of questions, they can't be able to answer it properly. So those things are there. And it should be making it clear, like what it can able to communicate and what are all the solutions that it can provide. If it can't able to provide, then it should have an option to go to the human interference. And when it's asking for a chatbot, right, you should not having a very kind of a very critical kind of a thing and very complicated basically. So if it shows like different questions and if you're getting a straightforward answer and straight questions, then it's all good. But if it is giving like more than 20 options and you want to go through one by one and you want to select which option you want to do it, then that's like a time consumption, right? So that needs to be taken care. And it should also follow the norm cultures, as like as I've told you already. It should follow all those things that as a like a normal human being, like how to respect and how to respond in a way. And it should be reliable whenever, even at 24/7, like even at midnight or 2 a.m, whatever it is. If you want to do some kind of questions and you're going to get some response, like let me tell you, like in FedEx, right? If you're having some shipment and you want to track your shipment where it is there, you can just give your shipment ID and it'll give you the response like where it is there. So that's like an automated bot only. It gives your answers, right, for your questions. So it can be checked at any point of time. So that's like a thing which is called reliable, and it should respect your privacy as well. If I'm giving my shipment detail to FedEx, and those details should be only visible to the FedEx people, and it should not be stored anywhere or anywhere else, like even to the like the support people, those are working in FedEx itself, because I'm not going to have a word with them. I'm just going to use their application to track my shipment. So if we are going to check what I did the search in their backend, then that's like a user privacy problem that needs to be taken care. And those data should be taken seriously, like it should be secured very much properly. Now we could have come across a news which is called that Indigo issue, right? Where some Bangalore tech guy hacked the system and tried to find his luggage. So those data should be saved and secured properly, because it can't be hacked, or it should not be used for any other wrong purpose. And those bots should need some standards. If you are going to put it in live manner, right, and it should have the capacity to withstand even if 1,000 people are doing a chat request at the same time. It should have that ability to auto scale itself. If it doesn't able to auto scale, and if it goes down, even if 50 people are trying to chat it, right, then that bot is not meeting the standards. That's another thing. And the next thing is like accountability. As I said earlier, every AI and ML, it should be make into accountable, like how the bot works. That's the main thing. And let me give you a normal example about a health bot from an Azure, just for a demo purpose. So okay, here we are, and this is like a demo purpose which I'm going to show you. So this is like based upon the data from CDC. It is called Center for Disease and those things, where people nowadays getting all the details about coronavirus, right? It's from here only. I'm just giving a typing as hi, and it shows like how can I help you. So if I'm asking like what is COVID, as you can see, this bot is an automated one with predefined set of questions. So that's why it shows like based upon the American standards, it shows like call 911. These are the emergency and disclaimers, and it will ask for some predefined set of questions. Have you recently traveled to any countries? If you traveled to any countries, then you have to give yes. If there is no, then it will ask for have you been contacted with someone else who has traveled to countries and is now sick? No. So now you can see the understanding, right? This is like a conversation manner. So for my response, this bot is giving another question, and it able to trying to figure out what I'm trying to understand. So have you been contacted with someone who has coronavirus? Not to my knowledge. Have you been told by public health official that you have been exposed to corona? No. And it will ask for these kind of symptoms as well. If I'm telling no, then at the last moment, right, this chatbot will end up at a certain stage where it can't be able to give you the correct answers, where it shows like you haven't traveled to any country, so please make sure to stay safe, and these are the guidelines that needs to be taken care. Okay, that's how it works. Every bot is having some limitations. After that, it will be having a human interference at any point of time. So this is for a conversational manner chatbot, which I've shown you right now. And the next thing is These are the different types of chatbot as well. Informational chatbot, which we have seen recently for that from the CDC, Center for Disease and Control and Prevention. And the next thing is called as transaction chatbot, which I've told you, like for FedEx example, right? It can able to show you like where is your package and where is the shipment, those things. And the next thing is dynamic and contextual chatbots. So this is like a chatbot when you're going to purchase in Amazon. Okay, Amazon is also having some chatbot where it can able to give you answer to some certain point of time. Like if you're trying to figure it out some product details, if you can't able to find it in Amazon, then you'll go for chatbot support. And at that time, this chatbot will try to figure it out if it can able to respond to you properly or not. Otherwise, it will end up in the human interference. And this example is called as Universal Electronics. This is like an online store where you can able to buy all the electronics products online without any human interference itself, and they'll be using only chatbot services. That's why I just taken as an example. And the conversational AI, how it works. So basically, what we are going to use like a Q&A maker service. So what we are going to achieve is like we are going to provide our own questions and our own answers. So based upon that, we can build a chit chat, and if not, if you have a predefined set of questions in Excel or in some URL link, you can use that as well in this Q&A maker service, and you can create a starter chatbot thing as well. And when it comes to Azure bot services, right? So these are the main things which I'm showing you, like Lewis, Q&A maker, and these things makes the main most of the things. So let me go for that demo itself for Q&A maker and chatbot services. This will be like the very easiest one which you could have come across in Azure, and this is also free. So if you have an Azure account, try to create a chatbot just for your fun, and you can just enjoy it. Okay. So now I'm just going to Q&A maker. If you're already having a resource group, you can create under resource group for the same thing. Or if you want to track this bill separately, like Lou is in one bill and Q&A maker in one bill, then you can create your own resource group as well. So I'm just creating it from the scratch itself so that we can able to understand how it works. So I'm just going to give a name. As you can see, these are the services like in region where these services are enabled. So apart from these regions, you can't able to use any other region as well to create a chatbot. As I told you earlier, there are like free option where you can use it and you can see how it works as well. Since I've already used the free, if I'm trying to use this free once again, now it will throw an error. So that's why I'm just directly selecting standard one and I'm just giving it as such. As you can see, it checks the name, the location, and then it goes for the review. If the validation get passed, then it will create this resource group as well. So we are on top of our time, and I think within 10 minutes we can create this bot as well. So any questions, guys? Okay. So once it get created, right, you can able to see these things in the main thing itself, in your main page. If not, you can go to your recent services and look into it. You'll get eventually you'll get some notification as well, like this bot got created. So I'm just waiting for to see it. Yep. So now it got completed. Now we'll go to the resource. And there's what we can able to see it like this is an option called Q&A maker portal, right? So just click it open. It will go for another URL link where you can create your own Q&A makers. And Azure is also having a predefined set of questions and answers, like a normal questions where we used to use it on a daily basis. And apart from that, if you want to create some Q&A for your own purpose, then you can do that as well. Okay. So now we are in, as you can see, this is my account, and I'm just going to select my subscription. As you can see, this was the bot which we created right now. So it takes at least 10 minutes to get loaded, different loaded. So for that, I've just created already another bot and I've just kept assets. So we'll create that one. Okay. So I've already created a professional bot and I just kept it as ready. So I'm just using that one only because it takes a lot of time to load those language properties as well. That's the main backend of it. So once it gets loaded, we can able to see different kind of languages, and in these languages, we can create our own chatbot with our own questions and answers. I think my network is a little bit slow, so kindly bear it. Yep, it's really slow. Yep, now it came. So we'll try to do this as well. Yeah, this lab also got loaded. So as you can see, these are the only options. So when it comes to these languages, until Spanish, right? This is like a chit chat option. Like a chit chat, it's like basically like a texting in like a WhatsApp, where you can able to get some response in return. But apart from these languages, when you're using Arabic or Bengali, even Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil, I think so, everything comes under only extraction, which I've shown you earlier, right? For the CDC, like that, you can able to create a bot only to extract data to get some answer directly. It will not give you option to move it further. So that's the thing. But when you're creating a chatbot in English, you can use it as a chit chat option as well. So I'm just going to give a name. If you're having some FAQ predefined values, right, you can just enable this option and you can give this a name. Like if you're not having some answers to some questions, so you can just type this like I am a bot in this value, so that if that URL doesn't have that proper answers, in spite of that questions, right, this will be the default answer response for your questions. So that is called as this URL. And now I'm just going to create a witty manner. So there are like different bots, like the way how they respond. Some bots will be responding to in a professional manner. Some will be responding to in a friendly manner. Witty, it's like a just a easy go, easy come kind of a bot thing, which I will show you as well. We can able to understand properly. So and then we just have to create a like a knowledge base. That's it. So Azure is already having a predefined set of knowledge base, and we'll load those things, and then we'll start into creating a bot. After that, we'll get it done. See, these are like predefined set of Q&A pairs. So whatever the questions which you're going to ask in this manner, why would you ask me something? Would you ask me something? Can you ask me anything about me? Can you ask me something? Whatever it is, for all these questions, this will be the answer from this bot. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. So like this, Azure is having a predefined set of questions where you can use that as for a demo purpose. And then if you want to create your own questions, right, you can create that as well. Like here, like editorial, right? So what is this all about? So like this, you can able to give question and answer as well. Like what is this all about? It's like a webinar. So like that, if you want to create your own question answer, you can create that as well. And if you want to create a follow-up prompt as well, you can create that as well. Okay. After that, just select save and train. Once after that, we'll give a test, and then we'll go for creating a chatbot. As you can see, when I type hi, it responds as hey. So okay, now the system is ready. Now we are all good with publishing these things. See, all you have to do is like select the option publish and then publish it. And then it shows for an option called create bot. Now it will once again take back to the Azure portal. In that, we'll be creating our chatbot. After that, we can see in live as well. See, it got loaded automatically as a predefined values like a bot name, Whizlabs bot, Whizlabs bot, resource group, and it all got standard like a standard pricing name and what kind of SDK that you're going to use. And this is like an authenticator key, and that's it. We can just create it, enable it. So once it gets created, right, all we have to do is like you have to select the option like which kind of channel that you're going to use for this chatbot. That's it. Like whether you are going to use this bot in Alexa or in WhatsApp or in Teams or in Telegram, whatever it is, there will be like a set of options which I will show you, and you can select any one and you can just deploy it, and then you can start typing your questions and you can get your answers as well. Like if you are some college student, right, and you want to create a chatbot for your college, with these services, you can create a chatbot with the questions and answers like what I've shown you, and you can deploy it so that everyone across your college can use it and get benefited as well. Just like a normal idea. So now it got created. As you can see right here in this option, could is called as channels. So these are the available channels for Azure. You can use it for Alexa, direct line, email, Facebook, GroupMe, Line, Teams, Outlook, Skype, everything is there. So now I'm just for this demo purpose, I'm just going to select Microsoft Teams. And we have to agree to the terms and services, like how we are going to use it, for what we are going to use it, those kind of terms and service. Once after it, right, it got enabled. So once again, go to channels. Now this option will come here itself. It was below here, right, at first. Now it got enabled to the channels option. Select open in Teams. This will go for my Teams option. See, now it got loaded into Whizlabs bot. So now I'm going to type as hi. For the first chat, it takes some little bit of like a microseconds difference. After that, we can just go normally. See, hey, hello and welcome. So if I'm type as who are you? See, this is a response from my Witty bot. What's in a name? Not much. Apparently, because I don't have one. If I'm typing the same thing in a carrying bot, right, which I've already created and keep it as such, like who are you? The difference will be there. I don't have a name, but I respond to anything and like anything you say. This is like in a carrying manner, the bot responds. If it's like in an enthusiastic manner, right? If I'm giving this and who are you? The response will be different. Someone forgot to name me. See how it responds. So that's how, right? The mode which you're going to select in the while building that bot, right? It will reflect in your solutions as well. No, I don't have a name. So this is like a friendly bot. So this is a difference between these kinds of options: a friendly, enthusiastic, caring, and this is like a professional one, which like a witty one, which you have created. So that's how it is. And we have just created about one question, right? What is this? It's a webinar. See, we just feed this question, and this was the answer which we already feed it, and this bot responds in a way. So like that, you can able to feed your questions and answers as well. So I think I'm done with my presentations. Any questions, guys?
If there are any questions from the attendees, please feel free to ask. Madhan will respond live for your questions. So feel free to ask. And okay, so meanwhile, you all can post your questions. We can have a quick quiz, which Madhan has planned for all of you. And we have some exciting rewards as well for all of you, and some special rewards for the winners of that quiz. So Madhan, would you like to take the quiz now?
I think you can go ahead, Sneha. No
Okay.
problem.
Great. I would request Mayank to share his screen with the quiz so that we can go ahead with this.
Yes, Neha.
Great. So as you all can see, for all of you, we have had some special discount codes, and you can purchase our, Whizlabs video courses and practice tests, as well as the premium subscription. With the help of premium subscription, you can access the entire training library, as well as all the hands-on labs, be it AWS, Azure, or GCP. All the hands-on labs you'll be able to access with the help of our premium subscription. So it's a good discount code. And if you want some more discounts, our spring sale is also live right now, and you can grab some additional discounts over there as well. So moving on to the next slide, let's start with the quiz. And there are some rules that I would like to tell you. Please answer in the Q&A section, not in the chat box. Okay, whatever questions you are answering, and there is a particular format that you all need to follow. For example, the answer to question 1 is option A or B. Then write it in this way, that question 1 A, question 2 B, like that. Right. So Mayank has shared the format in the chat box. You can follow that kind of format and put your answers in the Q&A section. Okay, so that we know who has answered first. Okay, all the best, and let's get this quiz started. So question 1 is, which of the following tasks is associated with natural language processing, NLP? Select all that apply. So you have to answer, you have to mention all the options that are correct in this particular question. So you will get around 30 seconds to answer this question.
This is like a multiple choice, not a single answer. So remember that.
Yeah, multiple select question. Okay, we are getting some good responses. That's great to see. Please answer in Q&A, not in the chat box, please. Nikhil, David, please answer in Q&A section. Okay, 10 more seconds. Please note this is a multi-select question. So you have to select multiple options that apply here. It can be one option, it can be 3 options, 2 options. Okay, shall we move to the next question? Great. So question 2 is, which of the following are components of the language understanding service? Select all that apply. Again, it is a multiple select question. So you need to select all the options that are correct. It can be one option or 2 or 3 options as well. Which of the following are the components of the language understanding service? Intent, sentiment, utterances, or entities? Let me tell you something that the winners of this quiz will get free courses from Whizlabs. So brace up, and there are 3 more questions you can try your luck with. Let's move to the next question then. Yes, question 3. Which of the following 2 services can be used to create a chatbot for a knowledge base? Select all that apply. So you need to select 2 services out of these 4 options: text analytics, Azure bot service, Q&A maker, or speech translation. Any 2 services that can be used to create a chatbot for a knowledge base. I think this is an easy one. Ten more seconds for this question, and we'll move to the next one. Okay. Question 4. Which of the following statements best describes conversational AI? Select all that apply. So again, this is a multi-select question. You can select in any option that apply here. Option 1, a solution that enables text translation. Option 2, a solution that enables text to speech. Option 3, a solution that enables a dialogue between AI agents. Option 4, a solution that enables a dialogue between an AI agent and a human. Which statement or statements best describe conversational AI over here? Okay, some people are answering for all the questions. That's great to see. Okay, 10 more seconds for this question. Okay, let's move to the final question. So if you have not participated yet, do try your luck in this question. This is a lengthy one, so read properly. Question 5, describe the features of natural language processing workloads on Azure. You are working at the hotel chain. You are planning to apply natural language processing for the sentiment analysis of the customer reviews. What sentiment score would you expect for the following review? The prices were ridiculously high. We could stay at the palace for that price. The water in the shower was cold, no hot water whatsoever. So it was a negative feedback. What do you think should be the sentiment score for this particular review? I think Madhan explained this particular part very well during his session. What do you think the answer of this question could be? Okay, we are receiving different answers for this question. What sentiment score should you expect for this review? You can read the review line again and then see what should be the sentiment score. Okay, time's up. Madhan, would you like to reveal the answers?
Sure.
Maya,
I think most of us got the answers correctly only. So the first question answer is like except the second one. All those things are applicable only. 1, 3, and 4. Sentiment analysis, semantic language modeling, and speech recognition and synthesis. So all these three are part of NLP only, except text moderation. Text moderation is not a thing. So that's one of the thing. And when it goes to the second question, like, are you changing the screen? Yep, thank you. So I think I would have told you these things in our presentation itself, like what are the three main values when it comes to Lewis. One is intent, next one is adherence, and the entity. So sentiment was a part of it, like whether you the sentence is like a negative or a positive, but these things are the main thing: intent, adherence, and entity. Based upon this only the Lewis works, which I've told you for an example, right? For that French word, that lemur, how it works, like close the light or switch off the light. So that's one of the thing. So answer is 1, 3, and 4 as well. And the third question. So which of the following two services can be used to create a chatbot for knowledge base? So now only we have shown it recently, like before 5 minutes, hope so. So hope you all got it. What are those things? One is a Q&A maker, another one is Azure bot services. So these two things are used for creating a knowledge base program for a chatbot. The answer is 2 and 3. And the fourth one. So which of the following statements best describes conversational AI? Select all that apply. See, you have to understand properly. Sometimes these kinds of questions are tricky, right? The first question answer is like a solution that enables text translation. So that is not a conversational AI. That's like a input and output. That's not a conversation itself. And the next thing is like a solution to that enables text to speech. So that is also not a conversation. That's like an input and output service. And the third one also like a dialogue between AI agents. So those are like between two people, not a robot or like an AI and a human being. The last one is like the proper one, a solution that enables a dialogue between AI agent and a human. So now it's like a bot and a human being. So the fourth one is the correct answer. That's the only answer correct, not all the remaining three. So the fourth one is the correct answer for the fourth question. And the last one. So hope you all know the last one answer very well, because I've just explained properly what is meant by 1 and 0. So 1 is positive, 0 or 0.1 is negative, and 0.5 is neutral. So as you can see in this question itself, what sentiment score should you expect for the following review? The price were ridiculously high. We could stay at a palace for that price, and the water shower was cold, no hot water whatsoever. So it's full of negative only. And as you can see, there's like the key was like ridiculously high. We can stay at the price of a palace, and the water was cold, no hot water. So these are the words where this Lewis will be able to interpret, and they'll be able to give the solution as well. So the correct answer is 0.1. That's like a negative sentiment value. So that is the answer for the fifth one. So I think we are done with it, and many of the people got the answers correctly only. So congratulations to all for listening to the class
We received
very
different
effectively.
answers, but overall the participation was very nice. We received almost all the correct answers. So for each question, whoever has answered first, whoever has answered correctly, they will be winning the prize for that particular question, and we'll announce the rewards, announce the prizes tomorrow on our social media channels. So if you're not following Whizlabs on social media, please do follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, any platform that you are comfortable with, and you'll be, the announcement will be live tomorrow. So thank you all for joining, and we look forward to see you in our upcoming sessions, for which the details again will be announced on our channels. So yes, thank you so much for joining. Looking forward to see you again. Thanks, Madhan. It was a great session, and I hope our attendees got to learn a lot from this session.
Well, I would thank you and Krishna and Whizlabs for giving me this opportunity.
Definitely.
And even though number was very well, but these people are very active in listening and understanding the solution which I was trying to explain. So thanks to that. And if we get another chance, then we'll go up with the different topics and we'll see it together. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.